There are great cities in India: Bombay, Calcutta, Delhi. Like great cities everywhere, they are constantly changing and growing more modern. Each day sees less difference between a city in America and Europe or in India. Small villages change more slowly. Customs are just as they have been for 100 years or 1,000. 11 million Indians live in the 8 largest cities, but over 345 million live in small villages. Only here in villages like this one, in the state of Rajasthan, can the old, unchanged life of India still be found. Farmers rise early to do as much as they can in the morning's cool hours. First, the elders, men respected by the village for their wisdom and piety, go to their temple to pray. The Hindu way of life is pervaded by deep religious devotion, but there is a wide variety of belief in Hinduism. Anyone is free to follow any ritual, for there are no absolute doctrines. The Hindu way of life is based on villages such as this one, the pivot of Indian society. These people have little contact with the outside world. They grow their own food, depending on one another. Village farmers offer up their prayers, asking blessings on the day's work before going to the fields. Praying for enough sun, enough rain, and not too much of either. This part of India is hot and baked by the sun. The well, built by the villagers together in joint community effort, plays a vital part in their lives. This village is better off than most because it has an abundant supply of water. We take water for granted, but here it is as important as life itself. Where one dry year can mean starvation, enough water means food to eat, and perhaps a little time spent away from the back-breaking work of growing food from the arid land. In any farm community, there is the problem of keeping busy during the season when there is no work to be done in the field. Out of his knowledge of his people's needs, the great Indian leader, Mahatma Gandhi, popularized the use of the spinning wheel. Children work too. They are given the simpler jobs. This young boy is taking the yarn that comes off the spinning wheel and forming it into long strands. The people work in the same time-honored way their grandfathers and great-grandfathers did. This primitive method of blocking patterns on cloth is very much the same as that used 1,000 years ago. Customs change slowly in the village. Many are deep-rooted in the past. The lives of the villagers are restricted in many ways. Rama and his wife follow the beliefs of their village, even when they may appear unreasonable to the outsider. By tradition, for example, this man, an untouchable, could not drink from the village well. Discrimination against untouchables has been abolished by law, and old customs are changing in the village, though changing slowly. Rama and his wife are dressed in their best clothes, about to leave for an important celebration. They are Brahmins, originally a class of priests or holy men. There are many Brahmin castes, and these castes are considered to be the highest among the several thousand castes in Indian life. Today, the village is celebrating one of the many festivals which break up the monotony of village life. The young men delight in showing off their skill in wrestling. Everyone gathers to watch. The match over, 2 new boys volunteer. The crowd seems as excited as the young wrestlers. The village's amusements and entertainment are what they provide for themselves. Festivals of Thanksgiving and religious ceremonies, too, offer an excuse for games and pageantry. When a girl from a wealthy family marries, the wedding celebration is a celebration for everybody. All the villagers, dressed in their best clothes, join in the music and dancing. A marriage is celebrated with many different ceremonies, both joyous and solemn. The mother-in-law places a mark of red powder, called a kumkum, on the bride's forehead, which identifies her as a married woman. By Hindu tradition, a man cannot change the caste into which he is born. After much instruction and prayer, these Brahmin boys are initiated into manhood. They receive a brightly colored thread, which is a sacred thread from the priest. They will wear this always, since it identifies them as Brahmins. The special customs and traditions sacred to Brahmins are whispered in their ears for the first time. A young bride and groom are being honored at a dinner. In small villages, even a poor man may go into debt in order to have an impressive wedding. The villagers usually go to bed directly after sunset. Lamps are scarce and fuel is costly, but tonight is an exception. Suddenly, tragedy occurs. A cry of fire is heard. The thatched roofs of these houses are so dry and baked by the sun that fire is a constant danger. The wedding guests flee into the night. Neighbors rush to help stop the fire from spreading. There is no equipment available to fight the fire, The men try to beat the flames out, but it has spread too quickly. The village has been destroyed. But people who have survived thousands of years of every kind of hardship, a community work project is organized. Everyone joins in. A new village will rise from the old, symbol of the new India rising today, built with new ideas and new materials on the foundation of traditions inherited from yesterday.